Hello everybody, are we live? Can you guys hear me? I hope you can hear me. Hello, welcome to the stream guys. Welcome everybody. So, so today we are going to learn. Yeah, so yesterday we were actually doing operators. We're trying to do this problem of adding two numbers using the increment operator. So for that, we need to first learn operators, how operators work. So first the increment operator, C++, increment and decrement operators. All right, plus increases the value by one, minus decreases value of variable by one. All right, this is post increment, which is a plus plus. Postfix operator says that first use the value, then increment it. This means the value is first used for operation, then increased by one. So first the value is taken and then the value is increased by one. Okay. All right. So let's try this out. Let's create a new file. I'm gonna say op1 cpp. All right. Let's just copy this. Let's try this program. All right. So first, let me just remove this. First, we initialize a value to x, say 7, and then C out value before using post increment. So I'm just gonna say before post increment, and that is value that is in x. So and L, and then we are going to initialize a new variables, call it temp, and then do x plus plus, which is post increment. And now the same thing, C out after post increment. Alright. And now return temp, not x, temp. Now we are returning temp. And then, alright, now after post increment here it is, we are going to return x only. Here we are in temp, there is value stored by the temp, right? So that would be the earlier value, the before the increment happens. So value value in or value stored by temp. So that would be temp, and then all right. Now we can actually run this and see what happens. Return 0. Okay, let's see what happens here. Copy. Let's run this. Okay, it ran successfully. All right, so we got the output. Okay, so before post increment, it's 7. Value stored by the temporary variable is still 7 because it's post increment. So after that, when we return the value in x, that would be the incremented value. So that was post increment. What about pre increment? So literally similar to post increment, but what changes here? Let's just copy this and try it out again with post increment. So if you are new to the stream, please like the video if you're enjoying it and subscribe to the channel and drop your questions in the live chat. I'm checking the live chat. So drop your questions if you have any as I'm coding. So right, let me just comment this out. All right, so what we have to change here is um this becomes plus plus x. So that is pre-increment and that's the only change here. So let's just see what happens. All right. So as you can see, um, the increment happens before itself. So that's plus plus x. So both the values there would be the if you return temp or if you return x, it would just be the incremented value and not the earlier value. So that's the difference. I think it's going to be similar for decrement operator as well. Like similarly, Don't have to do this. It's just the same thing. So decrement value stored using before using post decrement. So post decrement is this like post increment. So that would be the same value. And then after decrement, it would be the decremented value. Similarly, for pre-decrement, both the values will be same after the decrement. So, yeah. So this kind of explains it. Pre uses post operators. This table uses the current value, then increment. Increment first, then use the updated value. Use the current value, then decrement. Decrement first, then use the updated value. So that's pretty much it. All right. Are you guys understanding? This is kind of, I think, the basic stuff about increment decrement operators. I don't think you can do anything without these operators, not only in C++, but in any programming language. So if you guys didn't understand or anything, you can ask me so that I can answer them. All right, so let's continue. Let's try doing adding two numbers program, which we intended to do using increment operator. All right, so we need to think about this. Using increment operator, two numbers can also be added by using the increment operation. This is done by repeatedly increasing one value by one, as many times as specified by the other value, typically using a loop. All right, so let's try this one. Q1, let me just do it here itself. Comment this out. All right. So how can we do this problem? Repeatedly increasing one value by one. All right. As many times as specified by the other value. Huh. So let's say, um, let's remove all this. Let's just say, okay, I've initialized A and B. Um, let us say like, first do it simple, like simple program, then we'll see. So I'm gonna say A equal to 10 and B equal to 15. So we need to add these two. All right. So that needs to happen. Um, we need a loop. Can use a for loop, I guess. Let's try that. So for int int How can we do this? And I equal to hmm, incrementing repeatedly increasing one value by okay, as many times as specified by the other value. All right, so let us just so thing is how do we know which value to increase first? Hmm. All right, that's okay. Here we already initialized the variable, so we already know. That's okay. We'll think about that later. Otherwise, we would have had to check that first, and then you know, um, had to increase the smaller value up till the larger value. Hmm. Here we have to do and a equal to 10, a is equal to 10, and size what comes in the middle. Let's leave that part for now. Here we do a plus plus. Have to increment a. And in the middle, I think it is going to be dot size. What comes in the middle here? Let's check out the for loop. Okay. So I think we have to. So it goes up till 15 here, I think. I less than, actually, I less than 16. Um, so yeah, and then you let's inside the loop. What do we write? Sorry, a less than 16, actually, not I. We have used a here. And inside the for we do C out. C out. I think we can just print. All right, something is I'm missing something here. We have to, so we have to get output as 25. For that, then I don't know how they said This can be done repeatedly by repeatedly increasing one value by one as many times as specified by the other value. Okay, so then I think I don't know what this will return here. And let me see. I don't know why I'm taking so long for this one. It seems pretty straightforward. Do you have any ideas? Let me know in the chat. All right. Okay. Let's see what happens here. See out. Let's just print A and see what happens here. Hmm. Let's see what happens. I'm sure it's not correct, but let's see. All right, it compiled. Okay. So it just looped through the whole elements and just printed the output from 10 to 15, which is what it should do. Yeah, that makes sense. But we need the sum, right? We need the sum of A and B. All right. So I think um, let me just add a line here. Int A equal to 10, less than 16. Okay. So what did I miss, guys? If B is positive, increment A to B times. If B is negative, decrement A to B modulo B times. All right. For I equal to 0. Let's try it again with the for I equal to 0. I less than I less than B. I less than B. I plus plus. Then increment A, I guess. And then after that, we don't print anything here. right? So, all right, B is negative. Decrement A to B times. So if one number is, you're just keeping one number as a reference, one value as a reference, and then you're just incrementing and decrementing, incrementing or decrementing it to that value. All right, let's let's do the other one for equal to 0, I greater than B, I minus minus. All right, and then we just do A minus minus. Yes, yeah, and C out, C out A, right? All right, and then just return. Let's run and see what happens. All right, we got 25, which is the expected output. So the logic here is basically just to check if if B is positive, like if one value, just keep it as a reference. Here it is positive. We are just taking B, and obviously B is positive here. So since it's positive, we just have to increment A to B times. So basically, we are incrementing this to 15 times. So 10 plus 15, which is just A plus plus, right? So that's what we're doing. That's the logic. And similarly, if B is negative, we are just doing negative operation, which totally makes sense. And that was the increment operation, increment decrement operation. Oh, I don't know. I don't know why it took so long for this question, but anyway, it's okay. All right. Do you have any questions? Please let me know in the comment section or in the live chat so I can answer you before we move to the next. Let me see. All right. I think it's better if we learn loops next. Without loops, I think it's difficult. So maybe first we do if statement, control flow statements. There it is. So there is conditional statements and looping statements and jump statements. Okay. I think this table pretty much says the whole. Yeah, I think this table is pretty much everything you need. Like there's every control flow statement here. So this is pretty much it, I think. Yeah, this is quite important to know. So if else executes a block of code if specified condition is true and another block if the condition is false. Yeah, most of you know this. The switch case where executes a variable or expression and executes code based on matching cases. Not many of you know this, not not that much used as well, but I think it's worth learning. Um, this is I think the most used. Executes a block of code for a specific number of times, typically iterating over a range of values. While executes a block of code as long as a specified condition is true. Do while similar to while, but as long as executes a block of code once and then repeats execution as long as a specified condition is true. That's the difference from the traditional while statement. Uh, Next, the jump statements. We have break. I think it's similar to C programming. There is nothing new to learn here. So if you know C, it's kind of the same here. Break terminates the loop or switch statement and transfers control to the statement immediately following the loop or switch. Continue skips the current iteration of a loop and continues with the next iteration. Return exits a function and returns a value to the caller. Go to transfers control to label statement within the same function. So I think it's not used as much. Uh, yeah, I've not seen this statement used as much. Uh, yeah. So the first one is if statement. I think I think most of you know the if statement. Even if you check out the C program, like it's going to be similar. It's just yeah, if you know C, it's just the same thing. It's not different at all. Um, so if you want to check any value is true, you can just check that and just return. There is if else, I mean not any value but any condition. So that's what you check here. So and then if else, so if you can just use it for one condition, then you don't check anything else. But if else, like you can check, you know, if this is true, you do this, or else, what else can you do? You can also specify that. So that's if else. Yeah, again, same, similar to C, not much different. Then you have if, else, if. So if and else if. So if you want to check multiple conditions, you can use this. So if, then else and then again you can go with else if there is another condition, and then go with else. I think most of you know this. Again, same, similar to C as well. And ternary operator or conditional operator in programming. Ternary operator, yeah. So ternary operator is this operator. So it's like the question mark. Not many of you know this, I guess. It could be new because you know it's not like you definitely have to know this if you can do most programs without these, but it's worth knowing. It's kind of, I think, a senior level kind of, you know, uh, thing to know this. Because if you use too many if else statements, it just the code gets just gets larger. Here you can do this with if else statements as well, but this just looks more cleaner. So just makes your code more cleaner. So what you're doing here is just checking if a is equal to 5. So this question mark is just you're checking if it is equal to 5, then print this, else just print this. So this kind of like an if and this an else. So we just reduce the code here. Just looks more cleaner. That's it. Nothing much. Um, you can drop your questions in the live chat. I will be checking it. If you have any doubts or anything to say, if you're enjoying the video, please like the video as well. If you feel like you're learning something, you can like the video. You can also share it with your friends who are also learning C++ or wish to learn C++. Uh, let's build a community together. Um, so the next one is switch statement. I think this could be new for some of you. Um, again, it's also there in C, but you know, you can just check out here. It's just the same as in C almost. So, but again, all this can be done using if-else statements as well, but makes your code cleaner. That's the only thing we have here. Um, let's check. Let's check how this works. I'll be just creating a new file here. So let's just name it condition conditionals, right? Just going to okay, I just write this program here. I think if you know conditionals, you can do most programs, like most basic programs. I don't know what you guys think, but most programs can just be done if you know conditionals. In like every programming language, you can do it. Int we okay, let's just remove this. Let's write it again. Int equal to 15 switch. So now we are using switch a Case 5, C out. A is equal to 5. Let's just check how this works and maybe we can change the program a bit and see how change. So I think the indentation matters here a bit. So let me just do that. We'll do case 10. We also see out, see out. A is equal to 10. All right. And again break out. A is not equal to 5 or 10. So we are checking this, and then this just prints if both these are not true, I guess. Let's just check what happens. Return, return 0. Let's check. Which uses right additionals.exe. It prints A is not equal to 5 or 10. All right, so yeah, that's what we need to get. So it checks these two cases. So let's just see. Let's just change the value here. I'm going to just say 5. Let's see what happens now. Yeah, now it says A is equal to 5. So we can just do it like this using switch statements. So kind of helpful sometimes, but I think it's not helpful all the time. There are cases where you shouldn't use a switch statement. I think we'll learn about that later. So the for loop is next. I think it's been enough for today. I think for loop needs some time. So I think we can end it right now. Uh, I think you guys can ask questions if you have any in the chat. I'm checking the chat right now. Are you liking this kind of live stream? If you guys are if you guys like this kind of videos and live stream, so please share with your friends who might be interested as well, so that I get motivated to create more such live streams. So I think if you don't have any questions, I think I'll just end this live here. All right. So let's let's end it here. Until then, I'll see you in the next stream. Until then, yeah, see you guys.